Checkmate, Michael, Mike, checkmate.
This is Doomcast number 60. My name is Doug Owen, and I am joined by Charlie McGrath. We have a website, doomcast.com, that's dedicated to this show, and it is the 60th episode of the Doomcast. So glad to have you along with us. Charlie McGrath, making it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Just barely.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for this cowboy. Not that I'm a cowboy.
Right.
Hey, who is your college team that you follow?
The University of Texas is the one.
Okay.
I mean, I follow all of the Big 12. I follow all of college sports. It's kind of a saga. It's a soap opera, if you will.
Well, in my illness this week, I have the flu, Doug, and the only reason this program's going on tonight with me is because 60 times in a row, 59 times in a row, we've done this, and I'm. I mean, I feel like I should just go lay down and wake up on Monday.
Hook 'em.
Or never.
Hook 'em.
Huh? Yeah, but we're here. But I wanted to say that in my homestay over this last 3 days, I watched a rerun of the Texas Tech game, and it made me think of you because I know you're in Texas and you like college football, and they shellacked them. I can't even remember who they're playing. Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, they got shellacked. They
Oklahoma
did not win. No. Texas Tech. They've lost.
Right. That's right.
They have.
Yeah.
Not too good.
Yeah. Well, it is Oklahoma where they cut off heads, so you got that.
Just ISIS and crazy Muslim converts and other people you should be very, very scared of. We got so much doom to get to. I mean, other than your personal sickness doom, which is, I mean, we're waiting for the big prediction. You've been keeping up with some guy that you were watching a video. You might as well.
Yeah, Harvey Organ.
So what's this about? The new prediction.
It's a new prediction.
So who's going to get to eat crow? We need to put this in the prediction machine so that way we can laugh at these people. Ha ha! Give them,
or give him props if he's right. I guess
that's right. Yeah.
So anyway, Harvey Organ is a blogger. He's a pharmacist by trade, but he has turned himself over the last 2 decades into this precious metals expert. And, my radar always goes over.
Okay, so why is he an expert? I want to know. Because he sells it? Because he's super rich? Because he has a pool in his backyard? I mean, why is he an expert?
Well, he's an expert mainly for his predictions in the past that have come true. And it goes all the way back to and Doug, I just saw the headline on this video and I thought, I need to watch this. So what I know about him is what Greg Hunter tells me about him. That's it. I've not done any other research on Harvey Organ, but I've had Greg on the program a couple times, and Greg does a good job. I mean, I think he does good work over at his website USA Watchdog. But I'm just taking his word on this guy's expertise. Testified in Washington about the silver shortage or the COMEX being fraudulently run. And anyway, so let's get to
being rigged. Explain that a little bit about the comics.
They're selling more paper. They're selling derivatives basically on silver that doesn't exist, and they keep papering over it. They keep leasing out the same precious metal over and over and over again, knowing that they can never deliver it. So there was a move out to prove that there was no metal. It was just all paper, and it never really went anywhere because the same institutions that control government control the metal markets.
The London gold fix. You get your daily fix.
Yeah, that's right. So old Harvey predicts, his prediction is that by this December, that first of all, the Federal Reserve, the Bank of London, they're out. They have no gold. There is none. There's none left in America. All the gold is now in China, in India, and in Russia, and levels are at actual static levels in these institutions is non-existent. And by December, there's going to be a rapid price change on precious metals, on gold and silver. Now, I'm not all the way done with the interview, but I did get to the part where he's talking about how much. And, he's talking, you're going to see gold take off before the end of this year. And he's, like I said, he said December. You're going to see gold taking off. You're going to go to bed and it's going to be $1,200. you're going to wake up and there's going to be bids at 3,000 and it's going to go up $500 a day. And he's, predicting $5,000-$6,000 gold, $200 silver, all by the end of this year, Doug Owen, which is 3 months away.
What's going to happen as far as the people in London, the gold fix, the price fixers? Yeah. Why are they going to be unable to fix the price? Because it just seems to me that if this does happen, that it's going to trigger the apocalypse of the economy. If you have a doubling of gold in a matter of moments or even days. Silver, we've already seen that, so that wouldn't shock me if silver doubled or tripled.
It would shock me if it went to $200 an ounce.
That's like a quintupling. That's a lot. That's a 500% rise,
and he's talking overnight.
Why? Why would it be overnight? Because there'd be physical delivery to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization.
Exactly.
Like Russia just gets so much, and they're like, "Ha! It's all here. You're screwed. Suck that. Suck that, people.
Take it because I say so."
So why wouldn't they blow up that ship? I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying it. I mean, I'm just a skeptic. I'm a skeptic of skeptics, and
his overriding position was,
what would happen? I mean, this is what would happen.
Are you ready for a war?
And that's kind of already happening right now anyway.
It is. And I'm going to, it's only a few months away, so we're going to see. His take is that Russia, and mainly China, but Russia and India are taking so much physical metal that there's no way to deliver it. That just isn't there. The world supply of 2,200 tons a year is being outpaced by 1,800 tons a year because of the demand of those three countries, and they're not letting any of their gold go. So, in a nutshell, he says these institutions that are corrupt are going to get called to the carpet by December and say, show us the gold, give us our physical gold, and it won't be there. It just isn't there, and we're going to see this massive spike in precious metals. And I agree with you. I honestly believe that there would be the mother of all distractions if that occurred, Doug Owen, because that would blow up financial markets across the planet.
Well, I just, I think that when it comes to gold markets, they could, but go to some parabolic level, but that would only happen if every institution became all of a sudden very realistic and the literal reality of fractional gold. And that's what we're talking about. I mean, this is just leveraged fractional gold. I mean, when you look at the leveraging report by Michael Snyder this week, citing that 5 of these too big to fail banks are $5 trillion leveraged in derivatives, and basically that's just bets in contracts for the future. I mean, you can sit there and try to explain a derivative to average people all day long, and I don't do a great job at it. But just think of it this way: it's contracts that are owed that people are already betting on. It's kind of like payday loans for these institutions to then re-leverage and then to borrow more and more, almost free money in some cases from the Federal Reserve.
It's paper that's written. It's paper that's written on something else. It's a derivative. You're deriving this paper product that suddenly has value, but it's betting on something else. So,
but I think that we're ready for Bitcoin. I mean, I don't think that would get people. I mean, we're already looking at money in a much different way. So I don't know what kind of impact that could have or why. I mean, today, the big story, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's the secret tapes between the Federal Reserve and Jamie Dimon, and it really highlights the cronyism between Goldman Sachs and the Federal Reserve. And I don't think that this is going to shake any foundations. I don't think anybody's going to jail. And, I wish that they would. And I hate to be that guy that's just a total skeptic, but I am. I don't think that this rattles the average American. And we've talked about this often, how isolated. They're more, I like college football, but there's a lot of people that like it a whole lot more than me and use that as an escape from everything else in the world around them. And I think that that's one of the things, why we call this the Doomcast, why it's our mantra. And it's a balance, a healthy balance between, the inevitable crash that may occur or the transition into something that's even, at some point, a crash may be preferable to what is happening in the very near future. So it's not that I want to, keep people locked in a paradigm or give too much credit to the current systems that we have, because I do think that we're entering an age of devolution rather than evolution in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see, and the predictions are always out there. I've been looking at this, and I like the 25% hedge bet in silver. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't care what you do with your money. If you want to support us, that is the one way that you can do it. But when it comes, by donating to the show, but we don't sell any products or gold or anything else here. But I think that if you're really worried about that, you could go into a 25% hedge, where I would say, let's say you had $20,000. Let's just say you put $5,000 into silver. If the dollar loses rapid value, you're going to see the price of precious metals increase parabolically, or double, triple, maybe in the case of silver, and then you hedge your loss or your potential gain. You come out somewhere in the wash. You don't get eaten by the beast if that does happen. I think that's the only thing you could really do, other than just get out of cash markets. But I also think that when something's going down, there's going to be something else coming up. A lot of people are putting all of their eggs in the gold basket, and it may pay out. I don't know. I think it will. It's just a matter of when it's going to pay out. Will it happen in your or my lifetimes? Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, the problem is, Owen, if it went to places like this Harvey Organ is talking about, or Peter Schiff, or some of these other guys who were, just talking about how it's an apocalyptic event that's going to make all paper currency, all fiat currency obsolete, and we will be 100% gold and silver system, or money that's backed by 100% gold and silver. The crap that has to happen, I mean, the things that will be happening civilly, socially, are going to be so, I think, devastating that, it's going to be a lot rougher world to live in. It's going to be a bad place when you see, things are not going to be looking bright when you see silver, jumping to $200, $300, $400 an ounce, and it's radically, skyrocketing. The same thing with gold. I think there's a lot of people that romanticize that are holding on, and I have metal, but it's instability. It's going to be carnage, basically, that causes these events to happen, or carnage that's a result of these events occurring. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is that the government can always absolve debts. They can always extinguish debts. The Federal Reserve has tools to absolve debts. They can pretty much just reapothecate and appropriate, and you risk deflation without getting into this huge economic philosophy debate. But the government can extinguish debt. They have the power to do that when it comes to loans. So I think that they can continue to use institutions like Goldman Sachs, like the Federal Reserve, to buy up massive amounts of debt, massive amounts of liquidity. They can buy basically out the American people and the infrastructure for pennies on the dollar, and transfer that without having some kind of crash. I think that the debate always becomes, can these people manage it? Can you coax and manage numbers? To this point that they've been able to do this. And we've seen huge crashes that haven't ended society. Japan's another case in point. They do have the IMF, and there's a lot of new money, something that we should definitely talk about. We have the climate gate happening. The Rockefellers are joining in the anti-fuel drive. I don't know if you saw this, but they are building a new fund that they got from all of their oil profits that are going to abandon fossil fuels. Obama announced at the climate summit on Tuesday during the UN speech that we're going to basically create $24 trillion in a carbon market alongside some of the biggest billionaires and 340 global institutions that will be building this new economy. So this is what I think that they shift to, or at least this is the idea, that they'll be able to get these agreements and basically make derivatives on carbon. And future, just like they're betting on future crops and future
Sure.
building projects and housing prices and all of the other things. They're betting on the future for carbon emitters to, build. And this is just building another huge scam. I mean, I think it's worse. Like I said, I think a crash is preferable. I think that it would be a cleansing and maybe bring people to reality. But, how much of that is even useful? I mean, you could just beat people to death and throw them out on the street, and that's not going to make things better. I think that that's where some people's philosophy, the Voltaire's out there, and I love Voltaire. I would get a tattoo with some of his quotes because I think they're so profound and so
Do
relevant.
it, Owen. Do it.
And
put it on Doomcast.
But Voltaire is only applicable to reasonable people. It's just like, Plato, philosophy. You read most of these things. I mean, you use trivium. It only works for people that really do care about the outcome. So,
right.
And
that's the problem. I agree with you that most people don't care. They don't care. Like you said, they get lost in the football game, or they get lost in some other, or they get lost in, not trying to even criticize.
It's just short-term thinking. I mean, you only live once. You only live once. We're just here to enjoy this paradise planet and engulf ourselves in sex and drugs and violence and all of the beautiful things and all the primal desires. And I'm out of here. Boom.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the attitude I should take, because I really feel
that's how people feel, though. I talk to people all the time. Hey, man, I'm just trying to make it, bro. Just trying to keep going. And I understand.
I understand that too. And it's, I have friends in this movement that are extremely harsh on that attitude, and I'm like, I can empathize with that. I mean, we struggle. It isn't like I sit at home and collect money for nothing. I mean, we struggle to pay our bills. We struggle just to get by. So anything that you do above and beyond that, you're really tapping into your life energy to do it, right? Because it'd be one thing if I woke up every morning and came in front of my blue snowball microphone and that was my living, but it's not. I mean,
even if it was, it wouldn't matter. I mean, you shouldn't be born into this world and owe $64,000+ dollars in debt and feel that you have some obligation to create a better world for people that you've never met. I mean, it's just those things just don't seem primal to me. They don't seem like they're necessary.
Sex or drugs and violence.
These are all like, at the end of the day, and I don't want to sound too Peter Joseph-ish, but it's true. At the end of the day, these are all man-made constructions and institutions and belief systems. And at the end of the day, the individual in me thinks, I just don't give a crap about all the rest of these issues that other people are confused by. I see right through it. I understand that we want to make a world where everybody feels like they can get that fair shake, but they're doing it in a horrible way. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just very cynical because of watching this ISIS debate, because it is baseless and almost insane that we continue down this path. When you look at the problem with ISIS just on its face, the problem is that they've been empowered because of U.S. actions. They have been empowered by U.S. weapons. They've been powered by central banks funding other institutions that have now used said cash. And of course, we most of the doomers understand the intricacies of the intelligence agencies and how ISIS is being used to basically catalyze the Middle East and unify them to overthrow Bashar al-Assad. If you don't think that's the case, then I say just wait 6 months, and if I'm wrong, then we'll play the crow sound effect for everybody. But
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong at all. I think Assad came off the table when there was outrage when we were going to provide air cover bombing for the so-called moderate rebels a year and a half ago, and now,
everybody's all in, though. That's the thing that makes me. We continue to do this. Okay, so what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to give more money to moderate rebels. This is the same. We've been doing this for 40 years, and we get the same result.
We're going to train. Can you hear me? Okay, Doug?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to train up to, I think, what is the number? 35,000 so-called moderate rebels in Syria. I mean, these are the same rebels that McCain visited, right? These are the leaders of ISIS now
Right.
This is Al Nusra. This is Al Qaeda.
These are the
groups.
guys that the U.S. government, the Pentagon, were working with to overthrow Saddam Hussein. These are the guys that they thought that they could trust, that would help them do that, would secure tribal and regional security and avoid a power vacuum. And we gave them a lot of money and
weapons,
and training and all of the other things. And so, what do we want to do? Well, we want to continue that. If you look at the Khorasan group, which is just this new group that's popped up on the scene that they're talking
like
about.
a week ago.
Look at their Wikipedia page. I was looking at it. Oh, chili dogs. We might have ISIS outside. Hold on.
Hold on to your throat.
Lassie. I wonder if there's something wrong. Oh, you know what?
Check.
You know what? I think we have visitors. No big deal. Anyway, I don't hear gunshots.
No gunshots.
Did distract me though. ISIS. Oh yeah, their Wikipedia page just popped on the scene. Popped up.
Not ISIS.
The Khorasan group.
Khorasan group,
I mean, the narrative is so constructed.
Absolutely.
I was watching this play out. I actually heard a local DJ, a guy named Kelly Jordan, was actually saying on a KLBJ, which is a AM right wing talk station, that he's like, I just think all of this is propaganda. I'm like, oh, thank God there are people that can see this. I mean, it's getting to the point now where we really do have beheadings, and beheadings aren't. This is the thing that just kills me. One of the many. I'm sorry, I keep saying this is just the thing. It's one of 1,000 things about this that just drive me nuts. We're so appalled by beheadings, but we are good buddies with Saudi Arabia. They behead people all the effing time, all day long. Right now, people are being beheaded in Saudi Arabia for stupid reasons, even less atrocious than radical beliefs by somebody like a Islamic terrorist. We're talking about just, for bucking up to a guy or wanting social justice. People are being beheaded all the time. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the beheadings. And I think, quite frankly, I mean, here's how immune people have become. We've got Sierra Leone, 1.5 million people being quarantined, absolute literal martial law, 3,000 U.S. troops going there, a mystery illness where we have freaking zombies, literal zombies, according to reports. Have you heard about the zombies yet?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
The Ebola zombies are coming for you. And even the African press, one of the major publications there in Liberia, is speculating that the Ebola virus is a U.S. bioweapon, and it's now the dead people are resurrecting, which I would take it with a huge grain of salt. But I mean, this is the kind of things that we have going on. So it's just blows me away what we're concerned about, what we're not concerned about, what's a problem, what's an issue, and how quickly.
Yeah, and what's a true threat? I mean, what's a true threat? I mean, this illness is much. I mean, Ebola or the mutated zombie virus. To me, is a much larger threat to the world.
Could be.
Yeah.
And we're not sending doctors, and God forbid we start sending, the pharmaceutical industrial complex and the DOD. These people don't want to take the shots. I think that's why it's going to be really, really interesting. They don't trust. I mean, these people are pretty, quick to realize that these foreign occupiers are not necessarily their best friends.
Right.
Are you really here to eradicate polio? Or are you here to do a DNA test to kill my brother-in-law? Past actions and the infiltration of all of these humanitarian aids and non-governmental organizations by the CIA is pretty much freaked everybody in Africa out about working with.
I mean, the headlines say it. I mean, I'm looking at Medical Daily right now.
Right.
Ebola zombies. 2 Ebola victims who passed away have supposedly risen from the dead, causing mass panic in Liberia. So there you go. It started, Owen.
Well, these are the same people that will eat albino blacks, and they hunt them because they think they have magic powers. So not to diminish the Liberian people or paint all of them with a broad brush, but Liberia is probably one of the most just effed places on the planet. Just
right.
F places. Anyway, I was listening to Shane Smith over at Vice News. He was talking to one of the jihadists that's planning all these attacks in New York. And, I mean, it's just ramped up to epic levels. Everybody is on board. We got to get ISIS. I mean, libertarians. freedom lovers are freaked out about ISIS. It's Al Qaeda squared. It's Al Qaeda. It's core Al Qaeda times 10. It's just so scary. Now people are being beheaded everywhere, and unfortunately, I find that people like you and I are actually the voice of reason. Yeah. We're actually kind of mitigating some of these just crazy things.
I agree with everything you said about we created this monster, but so the question remains: is it a monster that?
No, that's scary foreboding music that you have there.
Yes, that was very scary. That was Doomer Carla calling me.
Oh no!
And I hung up on her.
That's worse.
So the question is it a continuing intelligence agency operation, or is it?
All right. Well, this is the compelling report here. While you text Carla there. The reports narrate stories of the U.S. Department of Defense funding Ebola trials on humans, trials which started just weeks before the Ebola breakout in Guinea and Sierra Leone. The reports continue to state that the DoD gave a contract worth $140 million to Techmira, a Canadian pharmaceutical company, to conduct Ebola research. This research work involved injecting and infusing healthy humans with the deadly Ebola virus. Hence, the DoD is listed as collaborator in the first human Ebola clinical trial. And we talked about this, how Philip Morris and the Chinese are engineering Ebola viruses and cures into tobacco and using that. And that's how they came up with the secret serum that they only give to rich white people and apparently can't reproduce for the poor black people. I mean, is it a bioweapon? I think so. I mean, I don't think that you have to go too far to make that stretch. I think that it's very shady. And the thing that really creeps me out about it is that you have so many famous eugenicists and other, very creepy people that are very prominent in the world organizations. People like John Holdren. He's a guy that's, talked about needing to sterilize people. And, that an Ebola outbreak would be, the best thing for the planet. And you have so many of these crazy climate freaks. I mean, one of which, we should just shift gears to, because I don't know. I don't have definitive proof that this is an outbreak, but a lot of people would love this. But, right. It brings us to the White House assassin, this guy, the knife-wielding veteran sniper that's rushing to the White House. I think Omar J. Gonzalez lives just right up the road from me, but he's one of these guys that if you listen to the reports or the story, the narrative, he's worried about the atmosphere blowing up or failing, and he was trying to reach Obama. Oh, my mom's calling me.
I was wondering what that was.
Hi, Mom.
You want to talk to Mom?
You want to talk to Mom?
Get Mom on the air.
No, she probably wants to see the baby. Want to see the baby?
It's because we're doing this on Friday. Your friends are showing up. Your family's calling. My girlfriend's calling.
People are like, what are you doing? This is not supposed to be so doomy. Anyway, Omar J. Gonzalez here of Copper's Cove goes to the White House, jumps the fence, and makes the Secret Service look like it's just one of the many things as of late that make them look very, very bad, portraying it in a horrible light, including all the scandals with hookers and the like. But anyway, the story about this guy, it blows me away. Okay, so you've got this guy who's worried about the climate, and a lot of these people that become shooters and active, crazy, lone nut gunman types are worried about the climate. A lot of them are leftists, but they always paint it out in the media to be right-wing nutbags. When by and large, it's usually people that have registered Democrats, literally. Right. Not that, Republicans better. The Republicans use that as an excuse. Hey, look, these people are Democrats. I'm just saying that, it shows you the agenda that the media, puts onto it. But anyway, so the guy has all these weapons, and he has this sawed-off shotgun, which is like the classic Fed weapon of choice because it's completely illegal. It's the one, that's how they got Weaver,
Ruby Ridge,
Weaver at the Ruby Ridge. They finally got this guy after being infiltrated
after
for
he cut down a shotgun less than 16 inches or whatever.
Right. They'd been after this guy for like 2 years because he was, with the militia and affiliated with other separatist groups, if you will, other non-believers, and it didn't work out well for him. And they murdered his family because of that. So when I see sawed-off shotgun, it's like 33. It's one of those little like flags that really bothers me. Like, Anyway, so they find this guy. He's got a truck full of weapons. He's got machetes. He's got all of this stuff. He has over 800 rounds, allegedly, of ammunition in his car. He was just stopped by troopers in his Ford Bronco in southern West Virginia southwestern Virginia on the 19th of July. Right. Just really weird. And, of course, he's being treated at Fort Hood. He has PTSD. He was seeing a therapist. He was diagnosed with that and paranoia, seeing a psychiatrist, prescribed multiple drugs. His family members said Jerry S. Murphy, his former stepson, confided that to CNN. So, there's
he's on serotonin reuptake inhibitors and anxiety meds, and like you said, it's the perfect construct for this kind of event.
Same thing. Another guy just walks up to the White House. There's another fence jumper there that popped up the next day, Saturday. Kevin Carr of Chemung, New Jersey, was arrested after driving up to a security barrier and trying to enter the White House by walking to it. Just it's very, very odd, and it seems that it has become an issue for the Secret Service, and that there is an agenda to go after them. At least that's the way it seems to me. But this whole story, I mean, just reeks. I know everyone says false flag, and I think that this one is. I mean, you can't find a better case in point weird story where you have an MK Ultra mind victim. I mean, this is
right.
It writes itself. I can't help it. People.
Yeah, it is classic, and it's completely. If you're in our train of thought at all, that you have to think, oh, okay, this is 100% constructed from the top to the bottom. And, so you look for the agenda. What's the agenda out of this?
Well, and that we're giving, we've spent, trillions of dollars fighting the war on terror. And this guy is right underneath our noses. And, it's a case in point as to what happens. And it's demonizing, of course, veterans and people that have PTSD, and getting the public more fearful of veterans, and, wanting to have more gun regulation. See, if we knew that he was a nut, if we could have put him in jail, if we could have forced him to have psychiatric screening. Interestingly enough, Virginia has some very, I can't cite the law offhand, but I actually had a friend that you can be committed pretty easily in Virginia. If somebody has a beef with you, some kind of problem, and they just want to, your vindictive girlfriend, which was the deal, they can take you for psychiatric evaluation and hold you indefinitely in Virginia. At least that's the. I know that's not
just
constitutional,
or
with other states too, but that because it's not just a Commonwealth thing. But that was one of the caveats. They can't do. It's one of those. I guess just laws a state law that they have. Not that it's constitutional, but it's what they're enforcing.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, people are like, that's not a real law. You're right. It's not a real law. None of them are, okay? At the end of the day, laws are only there for people that want to follow them, but they can use those.
Or coerced to follow them.
Yes. There's some of that, too. So, yeah.
Oh. And we got beheadings at the workplace in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that already?
No, there's a guy that was a convert, Muslim nutbag, and probably I don't think that he's a government shill, but might just be somebody that's has an extra chromosome or a few IQ points shy. He reminds me of this recent white guy Al Qaeda at the airport. There's this total idiot that found some FBI website online and decided to I'm going to join Al Shabaab. So, yeah, we got another nutbag here. And this is what the media does. I mean, it freaks people out, and it triggers a lot of really, mentally challenged people out there that watch it.
We're going to see more of it. Yeah, it does. And we're going to see more of it because it is another – you illustrated perfectly as you're carrying the weight of the program tonight as I sit here in misery. But you illustrated earlier that the same exact – groups are being brought out, the same exact fear. We're all all on board. If you look around some of the popular news websites, RT, UK MPs vote overwhelmingly for ISIS airstrike in Iraq. The world is joining on once again, for yet another expansion on the war on terror. But that is going to come with a price. Either triggering, these nuts that are out there, or by the illustrated FBI sting operations that prove that we still need to prosecute this war on terror so vigorously. So this isn't a surprise to me that we're seeing and ramp up in reports of this kind of.
Sure, and it's now the domestic terrorist. It's now the lone wolf, as they call it. That's the person you have to watch out for. That's the guy. He's the one that's the
and anybody could be the lone wolf, Doug Owen. Anybody.
But don't worry, they're going to have more intel. They're going to know more about us very soon. Yeah. Did you hear about what Facebook's doing?
Tell me.
Tell you.
I've been in bed for 72 hours. Tell me.
Oh, man. Well, Facebook is planning to have internet drones that will be as big as 747s flying the skies, circling us constantly in the very near future. By 2020, they're going to be able to, according to them, and they're a big company, and I wouldn't put it past them. I'm skeptical, but I've seen them be able to do some pretty. I mean, they've got people tapped into Facebook. That's what I'm saying, and they've got a lot of money. But anyway, they want to achieve global conductivity, and it made me think of something that might be kind of relevant to you. You may have seen this movie, but. It just conjured this vision in my mind of a world that I don't know if it should even exist. I was talking about devolution at the beginning of the show and how I think that's where we're going. And, we debate whether we're going forward or backwards or which way we should go. But I see this and I'm just envisioning so much more, hive drones flying about and being used.
What movie are you talking about?
Well, no, I'm just talking about this type of stuff that they have now. That's, just living in that world. But this scene came to mind, and it's about the World Code. Have you ever heard of World Code 666?
No.
Okay, well, I think this might be the answer. And I know that you're Christian, so you might have questions afterwards or some concerns about this. Okay, yeah. So,
all right.
Here we go.
Shut down the third world. They lose, you win. Shut down America. You lose, they win. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
So what are you going to do?
Disappear.
He's entered the world code. No target code. Sir, that'll shut down the entire planet.
I told you, you'd better hope I didn't make it back.
You push that button. Everything we've accomplished for the past 500 years will be finished. Our technology, our way of life, our entire history. We'll have to start all over again. For God's sakes, don't do it, Snake!
My name's Pliskin.
Was Escape. Was that Escape from New York 1?
L.A. Yeah.
Huh?
Escape from L.A. The world code is 666. He puts into the phone.
Yes, I remember it now.
It's a pretty old movie. Stacy Keach was wasn't the protagonist, but he was, of course.
So is that what you see coming, Owen? We're going to have a planet that is so
like the 1980s. They glorify smoking in this. He's all, yeah, check me out, I'm Snake. That's not my real name. I've got a patch on my eye. It's pretty awesome.
He was pretty awesome. It was not a horrible movie.
Yeah, it was. Watch it again.
No, I'm not going to watch it again. I'm afraid of the code now.
Next time you're close to death with Ebola, which,
Yeah.
I mean, once you get past this Ebola, we're going to be able to sell your blood. It's going to be very valuable. So
That's right.
I'm glad you're doing that for the show.
I'm working hard at staying alive. That is a fact. Pretty sure it's Canadian Ebola because that's where I was when these symptoms developed. But in all honesty, here's the situation. Here's the situation.
Break it down, brother. Break it down.
Let me break it down for you. Here's the problem. I spent 10 years as a rep for a company where I lived basically out of my car every day. That was my office. I drive. I go visit customers. I come home. The instant where I moved into the office, and with the asthma, every time some SOB decides he needs to come to work, but he knows he's got some kind of flu or cold, and he doesn't stay home and he doesn't go get any kind of treatment for it. Well, then the whole office gets it. But my problem is when I get it, it goes. If I'm lucky a lot of times and I can just stave it off and have just regular cold symptoms. But if it jumps to my lungs, I'm screwed. I am absolutely down.
I'll get you
out.
next time, Charlie.
Yeah.
So now somebody's going to tell me to try Alistair C or something.
Allison C. It's good stuff, apparently.
Yeah, that's what Jeff tells me. He says I should try it.
Really?
Yeah. We're not paid by them, so I don't know. I've never tried it. I've heard good things, but I've tried a billion things over the last 4 or 5 years to fight off asthma symptoms. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
If I get a chest cold, if I can dodge a bullet, it's a couple days and I'm fine. If I don't dodge the bullet, then it's ER trips and bedridden. It sucks.
You should try Adderall. I don't know if you heard about this, but the drug maker Shire has been fined for $56.5 million for claiming Adderall can normalize kids and reduce unemployment. So, I mean, if you can do that, then it could probably cure your asthma and a lot of other things.
If it could do all that, normalize kids. Wait a minute, it can do what with kids?
Yeah, it can normalize them. You got some erratic.
Are they not normal?
Maybe not. I think of it like, Audacity, what we used to record the program. I hit normalize, and it makes everything a big block. It just takes all of the, the peaks and the valleys and squishes them. So, I don't know if you want to do that. But, case in point, well, who knows what the hell, you're being sold when you go to the doctor. Hopefully, it's not Adderall. If it is, you could probably grind it up, snort it, sell it. So, might be worth your time. I don't know, Charlie McGrath. I don't know.
Score me some, Owen. Score me. You see,
no. We did receive some support. I don't know if you have your spreadsheet or if we received any on your end. Did we?
Let me see right now.
Should have asked you before the show.
Let's see. I had Mike M with 25.
Nice.
That was on. Huh? You know Mike M?
No, I just said nice. It's awesome.
Oh,
it's great. Thank you.
Yes, and let's see. I love those live feeds. Great music and interesting to hear you guys prepping. Keep up the great work.
There you go.
So thank you.
Nice.
He's from L.A. And then I had Christopher A. with $6. Thanks, Christopher A. And there was no message along with that.
Okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. We got
not too shabola.
We've got William, who gave us a donation via the donation button with WePay. And he did this on the 20th. And he said, abledanger.net is worthy of attention. And I looked at that, and I didn't get a chance to really dive in, but I did want to note it because he noted it here in the memo. So
I've heard of abledanger.net.
.net. I have too. And of course, the Able Danger program is pretty infamous when it comes to 9/11. And so if you're not privy, maybe you want to be. And that's one of the great things about the way we support the show. If you have something you want us to mention, we don't have to endorse it. We don't have to try to sell it. We just mention it because you support the show, and that supports you. It's one of the unique things about the way that Charlie and I have decided to do this. And
yes.
So we're not getting rich, but we're not compromised. We're uncompromisable. And
that's right. We'll talk smack about precious metals.
Yes.
We'll talk smack about whatever you want to plug in there. Libertarians, if the case need be.
Democrats, we'll throw them under the bus. Anybody that deserves it.
Republicans. Yeah, anybody that deserves it. How about John McCain? He deserves it.
John McCain. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny McCain. You saw the video, the picture stills of him with Baghdadi in the background and these other terrorists, these other leaders of ISIS, be an organic terrorist or intelligence agency made. You talk about blunders that can't.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I mean, we had what was his name? Alawi. He was eating dinner at the State Department. Literally, right. They reached out to him right after 9/11. This guy is dining with Hillary Clinton, and he's one of the world's most notorious terrorists. And of course, we killed him with drones and his U.S. son because they were plotting an imminent attack against the United States with things probably like machetes and
right.
I mean, maybe
sawed-off shotguns.
Yeah, crotch bombs and other things that you should be very, 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 very scared of. Oh, and we would be totally remiss if we did not wish Sarah a happy birthday. Sarah, she turns 33. She has now reached the enlightened level of age. Right. She has hit the plateau there. So happy birthday,
Sarah Kay in Lincoln. Happy birthday. Happy 33rd.
What's happening?
No, I'm looking for happy birthday. Where's birthday? Did
you put that in there?
Oh, yeah, I did. Of course I did. This is the kind of stuff I do. We do go the extra mile for the listeners out there.
It's almost too delicious to believe, my friend.
All right, so there you go, Sarah.
Sorry. I'm trying to jam, Owen.
Just trying to live through the rest of this show. Where are we at?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see. I had some other things I wanted to bring up. So we got to the world code 666 may be needed. So what do you think about that? AprilDanger.net, Ebola zombies. Gary Webb's Dark Alliance. This is going to be interesting. If you're not familiar, Gary Webb was the reporter that the CIA went after when he exposed the cocaine trade between the Nicaraguan Contra rebels and the L.A. street gangs. Freeway, Ricky Ross, all of that, the U.S. government funding, and by many accounts, creating crack cocaine to create, democracy and freedom and all that other shit that they're trying to sell you that they're doing with this planned attack on ISIS. So Gary Webb was one of he was with the San Jose Mercury News, and he was exposing this. And the CIA went after him, and they destroyed his life. And they're actually going to make a feature film, a documentary about him called Dark Alliance. And that's going to be coming out, I think, on September, let's see.
11th?
No, I hope not. It's coming out soon. So it's a big story, and it's one of these few admissions now in retrospect. And if you look at the militarized police state and everything that came after that, the draconian laws, the ghettoification of, and just the spread of, this just plague, crack upon the American people, you start wondering, well, when are we going to hear the story about how the CIA made meth? When are we going to hear the story about how they released bath salts? Not that I'm saying that happened, but
the track record's there, Owen, and it's a cash business, and it's a good business.
Apparently, yeah, we're not in the meth business, so I wouldn't know. But
if we were, we'd have more than...
We'd look older and be tireder and more balder and kind of more frazzled than we are.
Probably more energy than I have right now.
Yeah, like a pit bull.
Did you see the story? Clinton aide watches stall as reporters relieve themselves.
Well, that's what I would do, too, if I was in that job. Okay? Just saying. That's what... Yeah. I mean, that's a French benefit.
I guess so.
Oui.
I guess so. Amy.
No, you didn't even get my joke. Oui, get it? French benefit.
Yeah, I got it. Oui. I get it now because they're peeing, so they're wee.
So it's not a French benefit. It's a
It's just another example of how just creeped out I am by our government. They're
Muhammad
full of-
Jihad. Haka Sherpa Sherpa. Bacala.
Oh, Durga Durga Durga.
Oh my God! Can you just play that for the next 5 minutes till we wrap up? All right, that's enough.
And Charlie, I forgive you for stabbing me over that little disagreement we had last year.
Did we have a disagreement, Owen?
Not today, I don't think. Not really.
I
Are
wanna-
you
listen.
supposed to eat crow today? Are you a crow eater?
For what? For what? For
I
what?
thought you said Ukraine was going to blow up. Probably has, and I haven't been paying attention.
Well, we're arming them. You know, we use the ceasefire in order to get the
Very
Kiev
tricky.
troops are all armed up into the hilt. But it does seem that it has been pushed to the back burner, at least for now. This winter is going to be interesting. It's going to really show the leverage of Russia.
Hungary's cutting off that gas today. That's big news.
Break
no
it down.
gas. No, Hungary's cutting off the gas. They need it for the domestic supply. So it's just more pressure and puts Putin in a very powerful position. Especially, I mean, there's been so many new sanctions and things. You know, Exxon was above all, and now with the latest round of sanctions, I think this week that came out, I don't know, it's just a barrage of economic warfare being conducted against Russia. Like them, love them, hate them, fear them. The economic isolation is, well, I mean, it's just usually a recipe for war and destabilization. So if you want stabilization and you want integration and globalization and all that happy horse crap, then you don't destroy the European economy to isolate Russia and create that kind of backlash that unless you really want it. Unless you really want it. And I think that's kind of where we're at with Russia. I mean, it's just like, we're just waiting for you to give it to us so we can give it right back to you.
Well, it very well could be. I think you're also seeing, fractures in Europe, and it's been developing for several years now. Latest being that the Scottish vote or referendum to disjoin themselves from the United Kingdom. And, was that fake? Was that a real thing? I don't know, but I do know the sentiment in Europe. It isn't just Scotland. There's
you know what the sentiment is. You know what it feels like. It feels like... And then they cut off his balls.
And cut out his stomach. And they needed Mel there because apparently they didn't have what it take to get over that line. What do you think of that? Was that a rigged event or what?
What? Everything's a rigged event. What do you mean?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Good point, Doug.
Central banker would not be denied.
That's what I think about what happened in Scotland. Everybody was worried about the economic collapse. Oh my God, we're going to pay more for scotch. It's going to be amazingly horrible if they decide to have any kind of autonomy or even take over their socialist healthcare system. The world's going to end, and interest rates are going to shoot through the roof, and it's going to blow up the European economy. It's going to set everybody in recession. Oh, I mean, it's just a barrage of stupid reasons and self-serving, short-term profits that end up being the crux of that. Charlie McGrath, you're back with us. I was just saying that it's just a bunch of crap.
I heard it all. A barrage of crap, and then
Yes.
I thought, well, my mic just died, so I'll call back.
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, Owen,
we made it. We have made it. You're still alive. I mean,
I think I am. I just got a text message from the parents of the young lady my son is taking to a homecoming dance tomorrow.
Ooh.
Wanting me to help drive these kids around.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm a little bit horrified because if I feel like I do tonight.
Are you buying it? Did you have to buy a big mum, like a $50 mum? That's what kids are into. When we were kids, you had a little mum. It was homecoming, little tiny thing. Is that what it is? Homecoming?
It's a mum. Like a corsage?
Yeah, it's like those things that kids wear. They're huge, big. You don't know what I'm talking about? The girls, it's got like bells and football helmets and ribbons and Go Team. And the bigger they are and the more elaborate and the more crap that they have on it and the more bells and everything else, it's a social thing.
And I picked up a $30 corsage for him to give her, my son to give her tomorrow night.
Is what is this, prom or homecoming?
Homecoming dance.
Yeah, it's supposed to be corsage. What are you doing up there in Montana? What kind of weirdos are y'all?
I don't know. We don't have mums. Sorry, I don't know.
Don't have mums. Google mom. Google mom. I'm going to do it right now because I find this to be an important, relevant topic. MU. Let's see. Homecoming mom. If you put homecoming in there, I think that mums. Yeah, look at these things. They're freaking ridiculous, and they're a great metaphor for what's wrong with America. People are just putting big, ugly things that they think represent them. Just hit images here.
Oh my God!
You see these things?
Are you serious?
These things are hugely popular. Maybe not in your isolated little area, but all over the world. Okay, or all over America.
I hope maybe she'll have it. I don't.
Oh my God! Some of these pictures
too, or just the girls?
You want to laugh? You want something that's going to make you pop along? Here, look at this young lady with this mom. I don't care how big your mom is, hon. It's not going to make you hot.
Oh my God! It's like an entire body encompassing mum.
Yeah, it's horrible. Okay, so those are mums. You didn't have to buy these. These things can cost up to $100.
A corsage is $30. That's bad enough. But no, I did not have. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe the girls will have these on. I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to go up there and you're going to see it. And you're going to be like, Doug, this is a nice mum. You'll know the word. You'll know what to call that big contraption on their chest.
Sweet mum you got there.
Really distracts. Never mind. These are kids. Never mind.
Yeah. We don't want to go there. These are 14-year-olds. But sweet mum. I got the terminology down.
This is horrible. So you're driving around a 14-year-old?
I'm probably driving around 6 14-year-olds.
I'm laughing now because it's 14 years away from me. I'm laughing at you now.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I think I'm driving to let's see. I'm driving them to the midnight breakfast after homecoming. So apparently there's a midnight breakfast.
What?
I don't know.
These are 14-year-old kids. I guess it's better than doing meth.
I guess so. I don't know. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, Owen. I just want to go to bed.
I just want to Doomcast all night long.
Me too. Let's Doomcast until we drop, which for me is about 30 seconds. Do I hear the music?
You do.
My name's Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com. I want to thank personally Doug Owen for dragging me through tonight's Doomcast because literally,
you're an Ebola zombie. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm getting cured from the Ebola zombie plague. So thank you very much, Doug Owen. Doug Owen, my co-founder, blacklistednews.com. Contact him at doug@blacklistednews.com. Contact me at info@wideawakenews.com. And I thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on number 61. Any other information you want to give it out, Owen?
Nope, just an indeed. Until next time.